You are currently listening to the 11,662nd ranked pinball player in the world, according to IFPApinball.com. How's that for you? This is Coast to Coast Pinball. This is episode 29. Let's go. Welcome to Coast Pinball. My name is Nate Shivers. This is a podcast. It's a commentary. I'm a man at a quarters. We talk about pinball here. This is episode 29, coming to you on the final day of the third quarter of 2013. It is September 30th. They've shut the government down. We'll keep going here, won't we? So, as I alluded to in the open, I'm ranked. I played a pinball tournament. And we have a breaking interview. A breaking interview with me.
So I'm here with Nate Shivers, who just finished 5th in the Nickel City Monthly Pinball Tournament. How you feeling?
Well, first and foremost, all thanks must start and end with my dog.
Okay. Well, coming off your debut, what insights did you gain?
Well, I worked real hard in practice all week, and, I'm not one to come in here and make excuses.
You practiced all week?
Yeah.
Okay. Well, you're probably disappointed with your 5th place finish. To what do you attribute your poor showing?
It's no time to look behind. We got to look ahead, and we're going to get this thing turned around.
This thing being your pinball playing?
We take this very serious.
Okay. Well, do you go back to the drawing board now? How are you going to prepare for your next tournament?
The key, I just got to take things one game at a time.
Really? That's like how you're going to answer? One game at a time?
Yes.
All right. Well, tell me about the people you were playing against. What can you share about your competition?
Well, they never gave up. They really brought their A game.
Like you're serious right now? Okay. All right. Sorry. There is something going around. There are some rumors going around the locker room that you are coming into the tournament with an injury.
No comment.
Nate, you're taking this very seriously.
We done?
Act like we're not, in the office.
Stop that. That reporter sounded very familiar. So, anyway, let me give you the whole lowdown on the tournament. So, I finally joined locally here, the San Diego Pinball Club. And I joined them off of meetup.com. And I'm going to go to the page right now so I can kind of look at the San Diego Pinball Club on meetup.com. I would encourage you to look in your local areas for pinball groups. There may very well be one. I had actually known of these guys for quite a while, and I've had some emails from people who either were looking to join the club or maybe were in the club and just kind of seeing if I was a member of the club, because I guess they heard the podcast, knew I was in San Diego, and I can't figure out my login to Meetup, so there we go. So, I took a long time to join, because I've lived in San Diego for well over a year now, and I just hadn't done it yet. I travel a lot, obviously, for work and play and whatnot, so I hadn't done it. And I was reading the first issue of the Pinball magazine, and there's a great feature on the IFPA with Zach and Josh Sharp, who are sort of running it. I think Josh is the president and Zach is the vice president of the IFPA. IFPA, of course, stands for International Flipper Pinball Association. And, of course, Zach and Josh are the sons of the great Roger Sharp. See how that all ties together? So I read that article, and it made me kind of want to play a tournament even more so, and I know the best way to do that here in San Diego is to be a part of the San Diego Pinball Club, because they have at least 2 a month. They have a monthly tournament at Nickel City, which is an arcade, which has a nice selection of pinball machines, and then also a bar called the High Dive, which we'll talk about a little later. So I joined, and lo and behold, they had a monthly tournament in Nickel City last Thursday night. It was $5 to enter. There were 12 entrants in the tournament, And I just sort of showed up. I think it was a 6 o'clock start, which was sort of early because traffic can be a little bit rough anywhere in Southern California that time of night. But I went straight from work, got up there, thought I'd play some of the games and get a little practice in, because I hadn't spent much time on, say, The Simpsons Pinball Party anytime recently, or Stern's Indiana Jones. So I got up there, and there was a few other guys already milling around that I could tell probably were there for the tournament. So I just started playing games. I had talked about Tron on the last podcast, so I played Tron a bunch, sort of refresh my memory. Then I played a bunch on Simpsons Pinball Party, which I've never really been good at that game. And I played Wizard of Oz a couple times. I played Indiana Jones. And then everything started. People started gathering around. And it was very cool. The host's name was Zach, and Zach, I believe, is also the operator. He runs Palomar Amusements. So Zach had his iPad out with his software on it that automatically, everyone signed in, and then it automatically puts you into brackets. And it was a double elimination tournament, so it set up the brackets. And then he sort of randomly assigned you to games. And with a small group like that, he was able to sort of put you on games that you hadn't already played. So it was nice. So, of course, in my first match, I drew the one they have 5 games there, and I had played 4 of them sort of practicing, and I, of course, drew the one I had not yet played, because it was sort of around behind the other ones, and that's Lethal Weapon 3, the Data East game. However, I've always been really good at that game. Teresa and I have gone to Nickel City a bunch of different times, and I have had long ball times with high scores on Lethal Weapon 3, but this was my first ever time playing any competitive pinball. And the rules are pretty basic, head up, against one other person. Flip a coin to see who goes first. Obviously, going second is preferred. And you plunge extra balls, or the extra balls might have been turned off in some of the games. So basically, it was, just go. High score wins. So I drew one of the guys who was, it was a funny mix of guys. It was some people a little bit younger. Well, actually, there was one guy, kid, who was a teenager, probably early teenagers. And then there was a couple guys probably in their early 20s. Then maybe 2 or 3 of us in our 30s. And then probably 3 or 4 guys, at least, late 40s, early 50s, somewhere in that range. So it was a really diverse mix of people. And I believe Zach's wife also played, and she was real sweet. So anyway, I drew one of the older gentlemen, one of the guys who was probably in like that late 40s, early 50s range. And he and I played, and I, said hello. And none of these people knew who I was, and I stuck out like a sore thumb because they all sort of knew each other. So they were real cool. We played. I drew to go first, which bummed me out a little bit. And my first ball, I promptly posted like 23 million, I think, some big number, which was awesome. Just kept it going. I was catching the ball. I was controlling it, doing what I wanted to do. I got tri-ball going, which is, their multi-ball on Lethal Weapon 3. I kind of rocked it on the first ball. It's kind of like when I golf. A lot of people have first tee jitters where they, shank the ball off the first tee. I've never been that guy. I'm awesome on the first tee. I will drive the ball straight down your throat on the first tee. I'll fall apart later and shoot 104 sometimes, but not on the first tee. So it's kind of the same thing here. I put a real good ball out, and I was very happy with myself. I wasn't nervous. I wasn't jittery. I don't know that game super well rules-wise. Like I was forgetting what the skill shot is with the gun trigger. I was trying to figure it out as we went. So anyway, the gentleman I played, his first ball, I think he scored about 500,000. He drained really quickly, and I could see he was frustrated. He was probably a little bit nervous, too. He probably thought I was really good, which joke was on him eventually, if he hung around to watch me keep playing. But I did win the first game. It was nice. I had a nice win there. It was a good way to start. Well, then, on my second game, I drew Tron, and I played one of the guys closer to my age. And he kicked my butt pretty badly, in fact. I think my first ball drained probably about 2 seconds after the ball save turned off. And again, I had drawn to go first, so that was not good. Immediately, it was just done. Did not score well on Tron at all. I mean, I couldn't help but feel, Data East Lethal Weapon 3, sort of a slower game. Easy to control the ball. Kind of simple catches with the ball. Moving over to Tron is really fast, and just that shift of going game to game so quickly threw me off pretty bad. At least that's what I'm going to go with. So I did not do well on Tron, but this was double elimination, so I had hope. there were a couple really good players in this field. One of whose name was Ron, and I think Ron's pretty well known around San Diego. He's a pretty good pinball player. I watched him play Wizard of Oz, and he racked up the highest score I've ever seen on a Wizard of Oz. It was just ridiculous. He left free games on it before we started the tournament, just like, hey, if anybody wants it, take it. He's that guy, and I was pretty much in awe, and I was really hoping not to draw Ron, and I didn't. But the guy that I did draw for Indiana Jones, I think he started the Arc multi-ball, the 8-ball multi-ball twice on his first ball. He beat me into the ground. I didn't do well. I couldn't remember how to do the skill shot, even though it's really easy. You just watch the inserts and time it. I fell apart. I don't know that game well and didn't play well. I like that game. I actually kind of like Stern Indiana Jones. It's, I don't know, the two scoop shots, though, are a little bit obnoxious right down on the front left. But anyway, I lost. And I took it gracefully, graciously and gracefully as I could, and thanked him, shook his hand, let Zach know that I'd lost, and they, counted me out. And Zach said, "Hey man, great for your first tournament. You were one spot away from the money," because they were paying the top 4 places a little bit of money. Nothing big here. And that was it. So it was a lot of fun. Like, I left and got in my car and drove home and kind of had a little bit of excitement. I came from the world of poker. I played a lot of poker in my life, and I've played, hundreds and hundreds of poker tournaments. And I won't say that this was quite that thrilling, because, I've played in some big, $1,000 and up entry poker tournaments where there's a lot of thrill to it, and I've won a lot of money in poker tournaments. But this was different and more just casual and sort of, I think it was just the tip of the iceberg. So definitely going to be looking to play more pinball tournaments as we go forward, and definitely excited about the thought of building up to playing, bigger, like the majors, as they say. So I thought I would just run down a little bit about how the IFPA kind of works this. So they have world pinball rankings, and every tournament that's IFPA sponsored gets weighted based on who's entered the tournament. So everybody that enters a tournament sort of carries like a value with you. Like, I have very little value to add to a tournament, but say Bowen Cairns, he enters a tournament and a bunch of value is now added to that tournament. So if you finish higher in a tournament with a lot of good players, you'll get more points. It's sort of a pretty unique and kind of brilliant way of balancing out, playing in local small tournaments where you're just like, big fish, small pond versus small fish, big pond. And there's no perfect way to do it, but I think they have a pretty good system here. They only sponsor and rank tournaments that are completely wide open, so they're not going to give points to like a women's tournament or, an under 18 tournament or kids tournament or something like that. So it's a great thing that they're doing there with the IFPA, and I'm going to talk to the guys more, and maybe even on the podcast we might make that happen. But they get that stuff updated quick. They seem to be on it. It's check it out. If you're not a member of IFPA, get on there and fill out your profile so you can get that going. They do state championship series as well, so every state, like I'm currently ranked on a little ranking system for the states. I'm ranked 421st in the state of California, so it gives you something to aim for. They have leagues that can submit league results. There's a schedule of events, so definitely look into IFPA, find your local pinball clubs, find sponsored tournaments. The idea is to get out and travel and play in other tournaments and really build that sort of community aspect and vibe for pinball, because it really does work fantastic as a competitive, I won't say sport, a competitive hobby, game, etc. So anyway, I'm really looking forward to next tournaments. I think their next tournament is, let me look at this calendar here. I believe it's next week at the High Dive. Yeah, it's Tuesday at the High Dive. So I'm going to try and make that one. And then they have a pin golf tournament, which would be awesome, but I don't believe I can make that one. Teresa would like that, but anyway, kudos to the guys in the San Diego Pinball Club. I don't know if any of them even listen to the show. Maybe someday they will. Thank you guys for making it such a fun, warm welcome, and I look forward to more of that.
Getting in bed with Teresa.
Hey, Teresa.
Hey, Nate.
Guess what time it is?
Bed?
Sort of, yeah. It's getting in bed with Teresa. And you are in bed.
I am in bed.
That's quite the sexy outfit you've got on.
You like my sweater? And
Your long sleeve sweater because you're so cold.
Fluffy socks.
It's in the low 60s here in San Diego.
It is chilly in the evenings right now.
I see. I feel very sorry for you. So, we went and played pinball on Saturday.
We did. It was really fun.
Yeah, we went to the High Dive, which is a local bar, restaurant, establishment here in San Diego with some pinball machines.
Yes, and I finally got to see the Metallica pin.
You did, and they have a Metallica premium there.
The fancy one.
The fancy one.
Yeah.
What did you think of Metallica? You played quite a bit on it.
I did. I've been really wanting to because you talk about it a lot.
Did you like that one time where I just kept getting higher and higher in score? And
yeah,
then
you got the free game, right?
Yeah, you love the noise that Stern machines make when I get a free game.
Oh,
don't you?
God. That weird, clappy, knocky,
It's a screeching sound. It's like a tire screeching.
Awful.
You don't like that, do you?
No. I don't like loud noises in general.
Okay, so you played the game a lot, too. What
Yes.
did you think of it?
Okay. I love the artwork. I think it's very fun. I don't like the little dude who gets electrocuted. I don't like his tongue.
You don't like the thing that most people love most about the game.
No. The tongue. It's too long. It's really gross.
It's a plastic toy, fake person.
Well, it's gross looking. I didn't like that. And I like the snake.
Yeah.
I don't love the hammer.
The hammer toy that's in the middle of the game.
Yeah, it's like annoying and in the middle. I don't
It's
like
the
that.
hammer from the one Metallic artwork with all their faces on it.
I get it.
Which is sort of weird because it's a different bass player than was on the
is a different
original.
bass player.
Yeah, two bass
What's
players
that
later.
That kid's original Jason Newsted?
No, originally it was Cliff Burton.
Oh,
What
the
a
dude
fan
who died.
of you.
I'm
Jeez.
sorry. Hey, at least I know he died in a crash.
What kind of crash was it?
Bus crash.
Oh, yeah. Bus crash.
Anyway, I love that you can choose your song. I always chose Sad But True.
Now, let me ask you this, though, because in AC/DC, when you choose a song, it completely changes the gameplay.
I know, that AC/DC is cooler. I mean,
As
as
far
far
as that
as that's
goes.
concerned,
I
because
agree.
how cool is that there's a whole different goal.
A new mode
based
for
on
every
the
song.
Yeah,
I know,
awesome.
right?
Metallica is really fun in that I do like the two ramps.
The metal ramps.
Yeah, the metal ramps are cool looking.
And the light show changes when you hit them on, especially on the limited edition, you get
and
the
you
red.
get the M.
Yeah,
You're
and
trying
you
to spell Metallica.
Did you ever spell Metallica?
You know that I didn't spell Metallica.
I was just asking.
I like the drop targets up
Yep.
to the cross.
The inline drop targets.
The inline drop targets.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yeah.
I like that there's a good...
Did you ever hit them all?
You're
Did I?
like rubbing it in. No, I did not, and yes, you did.
Oh, okay.
Obviously, okay, it's my first time ever playing this machine.
Oh.
And I had a headache.
Oh, the headache.
Remember-
A headache.
Excuse me? Are we going to downplay the
She has
massive...
a headache.
Oh, you're going to be in trouble for that later. No, hold on. There was another thing I liked. Oh, another thing I didn't like. The flippers had orange rubbers, and it did not match the game. I know.
So you don't like orange rubbers?
I don't like them on that game.
Oh.
You had
What
a
color
game that
rubbers
had
would you
orange.
prefer?
You always make everything sound dirty.
What are you talking about?
Stop. And then you make it seem like I'm dirty, like, because you act like you don't know what I'm talking about. But it's you. It's all you.
Just blow up the fourth wall. Just do it. Thanks. Appreciate that.
That's like a wrestling thing, right?
No.
The fourth wall.
It's never mind. Off topic. This is not theater terms with Teresa.
You always
This is not
do
coast to
that.
coast theater terms.
Ah.
So yellow flippers with orange rubber, you don't like that.
Dude, the whole game is like red and black and blue. And,
And yellow and orange.
Not as much. I feel like the dominant colors were red and black and blue.
Mm-hmm.
It just didn't make sense. But it's fun and I like it. I still think AC/DC is better.
Really? You think ACDC is a better game?
I do.
Interesting.
Like, a lot better.
So if I were going to go buy one of those games, you would think AC/DC would be a better one to buy?
Heck yes.
Oh, see, I disagree.
Oh
I
my
would
gosh,
buy Metallica.
AC/DC is so far superior.
I don't agree. The artwork alone sells me on Metallica.
Oh,
The artwork
you're more
just
into artwork than I am.
Well, I like that, and I like the combo shots, the ramp shots. I like Sparky getting electrocuted, it's just awesome.
But I actually made that happen several times and got that multi-ball. I like that there's a ball save on the multi-ball. I like that there's a lot of them and it can go on for a long time.
You like that it helps you
yes.
cheat?
You know I like anything that makes it easier. I am not going to lie about that or be shy about that.
I'm never going to show you the menus inside every game.
Yeah, I want to see the menus and make them all as easy as possible.
I see.
30-second ball save.
30 seconds.
No,
Should I just go ahead and set it to 5-ball while we're at it?
No, I know that's
cheating.
Even though the card does say 5-ball on some of the
I'll just flip the card over. It says 3-ball on the other side. I'm just too lazy to pull the glass off. I know you're talking about Twilight
all
Zone.
the time when that thing used to get stuck before you got the magnet, so that's not true. You secretly play 5-ball when I'm not looking, don't you?
Hell no.
Anyway, okay, there's another thing I wanted to say about Metallica. You're off topic now. Ha!
It's my show.
The Sparky electrocuted thing, like I said, had it happen quite a few times because it's an easy shot that I'm good at. I'm good at shots that are in the middle, and I don't like that he gets electrocuted.
But he likes it. He wants it. He wants that electricity pulsing through his veins while the song plays.
I don't think that's true.
No, it is. He told me.
The toy.
When you went over and played Tron, Sparky was like, oh man, glad you're back. Give me some electricity.
Whatever.
Whatever.
Oh, and it does have the... Wait, you told me what it's called, but I don't remember. The little shot that's like the Twilight Zone shot.
The scoop shot?
Yes, I like that. Because I'm good
Tron
at
has
those.
that also.
I know. We talked about that.
There's an arcade machine, a Tron arcade machine on top of this.
I like Tron a lot. I know, it's Flynn's Arcade.
Exactly.
I am aware. You haven't even seen the movies. Let's all let the listeners know that. He still hasn't seen the Tron movies. What is happening that you haven't seen those? What was the other thing you were talking about and you haven't seen?
I don't know. What did I say about it in last episode?
That you had.
Oh, you haven't listened to last episode.
I did too. You said that I get mad at you. I did too.
When did you listen to that?
Oh,
See, you've not. You're.
But I have.
You've been caught in a lie. We're running out of time here. The timer on getting in bed with Teresa's about to
You're mean.
cut us off. I know. That's true.
I was going to say that I still like Tron, but theirs was too dark.
It was very dark. Hard to see at the high def.
And their food was smelling gross.
You didn't like the dirty plates on the stool. Are you going to come to the tournament there next week?
No, because I don't like to drink lots of alcohol and stay up late on a school night.
Oh, okay. You're a teacher. We got it.
But I would like to go to Pinball City when this sounded like fun.
Well, we'll do that sometime. Thanks for joining us tonight. I am getting rid of you. Bye.
Trip reports.
So let's give the High Dive a fair shake and give them a real trip report. The High Dive is a bar. First and foremost, it's a bar. So I've had many emails from folks who are coming to San Diego on vacation and want to play pinball, and I think they figure I can give them the what do they call it? The 411, the info. And I definitely try. I try and point people to the places to go. If somebody my age who's just looking to go out and play some pinball asks me, hey, where should I go in San Diego? I'll always point them to the High Dive. It's a bar. They serve food. They got food. I think the food's probably good. Teresa didn't like the way it smelled. Some unbussed plates. It was sort of a lazy Saturday afternoon. They've always been real friendly in there, and I've never even eaten in the place. And I go in just to play their pinball machines. It's on a sort of a main road right off I-5, so it's pretty convenient from lots of different areas, easy to get to. Currently, the High Dive has 4 pinball machines. As we mentioned, they have Metallica, and that is the premium version. They have a Tron Legacy. They have an AC/DC Premium, and then they have a Grand Prix by Williams, which I know very little about. I believe it is from 75, 76, maybe? 1976. So it's an EM from 76, sort of a race car game. And I think it was a high production game because I've seen this in a few different places. It was a Steve Kordex design. I know that. Yeah, here it is. It's a very colorful machine, but the trick on Grand Prix at the High Dive is it has a tabletop over it, so you can actually eat above the game and then play the game through the glass below it. It's kind of converted into an eating type table, so kind of neat. It gets lost in the shuffle, a lot of times. A lot of people sit there and drink with the glass, not the glass of the actual game. They have like a table built over it, sort of. So, but it is there, so it's cool that there's an old EM with some of the most new modern Stern games available. The games are all off to the right when you walk in, sort of in their own little alcove. Usually one of the games is pulled out more towards the eating area, and right now that's Tron. Teresa felt it was real dark looking at Tron. I think she forgets how dark that game is. Their games are generally the playfields are in good shape. I've never seen a game in there with like a really bad playfield or broken parts, but the problem is it is a bar and there are people eating all around these games, and there's just always like greasy fingerprints on the games. I always want to have a roll of paper towels and Windex with me, so that might be the downside to it. It's not a bad vibe. My buddy Zach, who I work with, who's like a pinball nut, he always says, I don't like the high dive. And I'm like, why? He goes, I just don't like it there. And I don't quite understand his aversion, but it's all right. I like it just fine. Any place that's going to bring in AC/DC and Metallica one after another and have a Tron in there is all right by me. So, as far as a trip report goes, we played Metallica a bunch. I didn't even play AC/DC because I was really there. Teresa wasn't feeling all that great, in full disclosure. I was dragging her around playing pinball. We did play some of the Tron, and then we left. So it's a smaller place, 4 games, but in San Diego, that's really as good as it gets because there isn't anywhere else. In San Diego proper, down by the city of San Diego, that has more than 4 games. There is Nickel City up north, where I played the tournament, that has 5 games, but that's really closer to Poway or Rancho Bernardo. It's out in the suburbs, so to speak. So if you're in San Diego proper and you're doing the SeaWorld thing, the High Dive is a great place to go grab lunch and play some pinball. So definitely check it out. I had a message via Facebook that asked me to explain my new segment about random number generator picking the game. I think somebody didn't quite understand what I'm doing there. So here's how I'll explain it. I'm going to the random.org website, and I'm literally just picking a number randomly with their little random number generator, 1 through 274, because that's how many games are on the Pinside Pinball Top 100 list. So yes, the Top 100 list actually has 274 games. And then I choose a number, and I don't know what number it is, and I go to the list and I look at what number it is, and then I spout off nonsense, half-truths, and opinions about whatever game it is. Crossing my fingers, I know something about it. So, with that being said, I hope that explains that gentleman's question, because I think I don't know, maybe I wasn't clear with what we're doing. Let's play random number generator machine review. Shall we? Okay, so I'm on random.org. 1 and 274. Then I'm going to hit generate a bunch of times, and then I'm going to stop. 215. See, that scares me when it's a big number, because I don't know some of these. 215. Oh, see, this is a game I don't know at all. Number 215. Gottlieb's 1981 Volcano. I have never seen this game. I do not know much about it. So I'm just going to look at it and tell you what I think. Because that's all I can really do. That's the risk of the random number generator game. So I'm going to look at the playfield here for Volcano. And what I see is very typical layout of that time, that early 80s sort of flat layout with some targets way up in the top. Although it does have an interesting sort of, I can't tell if it's a ramp or a little playfield section up in the very back right of the back glass. The plunge shot, the ball enters the playfield about midway up, and then there's a couple pop bumpers in the middle of the game, one that's sort of down on the left, so they're not all collected in a group. Targets up in the back left, and then there's this little trapdoor image. Not image, but trapdoor looking thing. These photos I'm looking at are pretty poor. Boy, there's this creepy looking dude on the playfield though. I guess he's supposed to be the native running away from the volcano. Let's read some of the promotional stuff from Gottlieb Volcano. First of all, explosive action. And that's with an exclamation point. Also, explosive profits. So explosive action, explosive profits. Because remember, we were selling to operators for most of the history of pinball. And then the first thing that they say to describe the game is POW. P-A-W, P-O-W, exclamation points. So they really wanted lots of exclamation points in selling Volcano. The eruption begins and players battle Gottlieb's Volcano in a multiple ball assault. Dynamic pinball action in a prehistoric fantasy world makes this game hot, hot, hot. All capital letters, of course, for your location. New! Exclamation point. Crater playfield! Exclamation point. Skee ball design, this is the thing I was seeing that was confusing me, offers players 4 craters to enter Volcano. When lit, craters will capture ball. When unlit, Volcano spits ball back at player, and action continues. So that was the thing I was seeing on the playfield. Also new, exclamation point, moving shooter guide. From the first shot of the game, players love Volcano, all capital letters. They aim and lock the guide with special button trying to hit the one lit target at top of the playfield. So those targets in the back left of the playfield, that's the skill shot, as we would call that now. Also, ball save. Plunger sends ball back in play at very last moment when player uses special button. This feature is earned by hitting the lit Volcano target. So it sort of has like a manual kickback ball save. I've literally never seen this game before. Fire pit! Exclamation point. Getting caught in this kick hole can be the hottest move of the game when lit. Player earns extra ball! Exclamation point. So it's a very red game. Like, when I tell you sometimes I don't know much about a game, in my head I'm thinking, I know a little something about the game. I don't know anything about this game. Nothing. I've never seen one of these. I'm seeing how the crater thing works now, and it's sort of like a 4-tiered little, like, rectangular area. You know, I don't get much of a volcano picture when I'm looking at this. You know, I'm picturing, like, Congo volcano, like that's a volcano in the game Congo. This is sort of early days. The volcano is really on the back glass, so alphanumeric back glass. I don't know. I like all the cavemen and the dinosaurs. And, you know, this is sort of trying to make me think that cavemen and dinosaurs lived together, which I think science has kind of proven isn't true. So Gottlieb's got that wrong. I like the fire pit. The fire pit's sort of like a little hard, you know, more difficult angled shot on the left side for your extra ball. Sort of like, I don't know, what's the shot that reminds me of? I'm thinking of the fuel shot on Metallica right now because that's the most recent thing I've played. But I think if you were to pull up this fire pit shot, you'll recognize it from a bunch of other games at this time period. So it kind of reminds me of like Flash. I don't know, that's the first thing that comes to mind. So if you have any thoughts on Volcano or have ever owned any thoughts on Volcano, post those thoughts in the blog post on Coast2CoastPinball.com for this show, for episode 29. Just give a little shout out. I do love, you know, this era of games artwork on the cab, and, you know, they sell stencil sets for a lot of these because they're really simple and you can do them, but some of them are done really well. This is kind of awesome. It's mostly red, but then with black volcanoes with yellow explosions coming out of them, and then like the Raptor-saurus guys flying in the air, the dinosaurs flying. So I really actually do like the real simplistic 70s, early 80s art that's on this machine. So very cool. So there's Random Number Generator Game Review, and hopefully, again, this will now have a nice snazzy intro with some fancy voice by the time we edit this down. Or it won't. We'll see.
Check the email.
Let's dive into the mailbag. All right, I posted this on Twitter today. I forget to log into Twitter and then look at the Connect and the About Me sections of Twitter because I had all these messages. And, you know, maybe we should just jump into those right now. Clear some of those out. Some of them were sort of pertinent. So if I click on me, nope, it's the Discover. See, I don't really know Twitter all that well. It's the connect button. It's the @ symbol. I'm not going to go back all the way because literally these go back way, way far. Let's see. These go back so far that I just scrolled down and I got to Pinball Soul congratulating us on 20 episodes. That was a month ago. JJ says, really great job on the podcast. Thanks for the content. JJ, one thing though, all post EMs are solid state. You sort of refer to games with alphanumeric displays as solid state, then DMDs. Yeah, I know, but I guess what I'm trying to say is, to me, there's two different eras there. I totally get that there's electromechanical games and then there's solid state games based on, boards and chips. I get that, and somebody else posted this somewhere in a review about the podcast, and what I'm trying to say is there's EM era, then there's the solid state era. I break the solid state era into two kind of separate divisions, and you could just say 80s and then 90s and on, because that sort of gets it, but what I'm really talking about is games that only have alphanumeric score readings and line readings, a la Funhouse. Alphanumeric. There's only so much you can do there. There's no dot matrix display. So when you get to DMDs, you have a dot matrix display, Terminator 2 and on. And so I don't think I'm confusing anything to do with EMs or solid states. It's just I'm sort of trying to give my own, and I've seen other people do it, because they're very different, and it's a different era. Like, just looking at Volcano right there, clearly a solid state game of the alphanumeric display age. Because I think that's a good way to break it up. So, thank you, JJ. He went on. See, this is the problem with Twitter, is you can only type a little bit, and it makes you keep going. But anything post-EM is solid state, Inc., early solid state models with numeric displays, now from displays, Elvira through DM. Oh, so he's saying what I'm saying. He gets it. Sorry, so many tweets. Thanks for taking time to produce shows. I have 2 regional pin groups subbing to your show. Sure they'll enjoy. JJ, thank you. And I love the Bat Boy avatar he's got. That's pretty cool. Joe wrote, the Johnny Mnemonic ending of last episode was hilarious. I forgot how odd some of the dialogue was. That you'll have to find yourselves. No comment. Gene X, who's a big part of the Pinball Soul podcast, does a great job. He's out here on the West Coast with us. Said at C2C Pinball, call this era the early 21st century resurgence. I mean, I hope this is the early 21st century resurgence, right? JJ popped back in and said, if I weren't taking online banking down and about to perform server maintenance, I would, as my wife sleep. Oh, I was probably asking for call-ins that night. We're going to do another call-in show. I've had quite a few people either tweet me or Facebook message me when we're doing the next call-in show. I fully had planned on doing one Friday night, but something came up. We were out doing stuff, and I just didn't get home in time. So we'll definitely get going on that. See, some of these tweets and retweets and at me's don't really make sense in the context of what I'm doing here, so that's why I kind of don't read them all. Broken Token thanked us for the mention of the new podcast. That's a new podcast that's out. I think it's pretty video game heavy. I haven't gotten a chance to listen, but I will. I have a trip coming up in a few weeks, so I'll be catching up on everything then. So then, looking at the actual mailbox, I got a message from Steve. He was actually pointing out to me that the tournament I just played in was a fundraiser, which I did mention on a show. So, Zach, who ran, which I talked about earlier, Zach's cousin was killed in an equipment accident on his ranch, so they were raising money all month at Nickel City for his cousin. Kind of a sad story. So thanks for pointing that out to me, Steve. He said that was local to me. Little did he know I'd be out there finishing 5th in that tournament. All right, friend of the show, Todd. He wrote me an email. We were chatting about something, and then he wrote, so I made a rather bold move yesterday. I'd been searching for a Bram Stoker's Dracula for a few months, put my search on hold for 8 weeks because a Pinside member contacted me and said he was getting one on the cheap in a 2-pin purchase. End story is he strung him along for 3 weeks and then disappeared. I can't believe that happened. Actually, I can believe that happened. That sort of thing just happens. People... grandiose ideas, probably flipped it and made a bunch of money. So he gave up, And anyhow, yesterday morning, the opportunity to buy a Twilight Zone came up for an amazing price, probably $1,500 less than I've seen them going for. It's a gently routed pin, and it's being dumped by a hobbyist restorer that needs to cash out. So out goes Bram Stoker's Dracula, and next Friday I'm traveling to York, Pennsylvania to pick up a Twilight Zone. I've played Twilight Zone maybe 10 times on a really poorly maintained table out on location, so I really haven't gotten the full Twilight Zone experience. While I'm disappointed Bram Stoker's Dracula is going to have to be put on hold, not to mention the fact that I'm spending more than I expected, always the case, right? Yes, that is always the case. I'm hoping that Twilight Zone more than fits the bill. Dude, you're going to be a very happy person. Twilight Zone is awesome. It's 3 times the game Bram Stoker's Dracula is. Bram Stoker's Dracula is fun. I like it. It's a $2,000 game to me. $2,500 is like top end. I wouldn't get into that game for more than a couple grand because it's only so deep. That's the problem with that game is it has great tricks, has some good gameplay action, but it's only so deep. I did that episode from like Maine, I believe, where I played a Bram Stoker's Dracula, and I really liked it, but not even in the same ballpark as Twilight Zone. I play my Twilight Zone every single day I'm here. And I play it a lot. And there's so many ways to attack that game. There's so many things you can go for. I'm looking at it. It's 4 feet away from me. I have it on. I always turn it on when I do the podcast. I don't know why. I like to lower the lights in the room here and the glow of Twilight Zone. It's the one game I've ever owned that I haven't put a bunch of LEDs in. There's a couple. I have a couple LEDs in just certain spots where I wanted things to light up. Like, I think the extra ball has an LED light in it. I want to see that shining. And then I have a piano mod in there, and in the piano mod lights up the piano reel, and I have an LED in there too. So I just I love the vibe of Twilight Zone. So you're gonna love it. It's so deep. I'll never get rid of mine. Never, ever, ever. I met someone at that tournament I played at. Someone was kind of quizzing me on what games I owned, and he and I were comparing notes. And he got real interested in my Twilight Zone. I was like, dude, don't work yourself up there. Dylan wrote me, listen to episode 28, another great one. You made me laugh when you mentioned researching the tables you might be playing, because that's exactly what I did for the Canadian Pinball Championships last year, his first tournament. Stayed up all night cramming, trying to get the rule sets for the Stern games I don't like in my head. Dylan makes a great point here. What a huge advantage it is to know the rules to the games you're going to play in your local tournament. Just know the skill shots even, because when I got to Indiana Jones, I'm sitting there staring at the game, can't remember how the skill shot worked. And the guy I was playing was nailing the skill shot for millions of points each time. And it was one of those where it was like 1 million the first time, 2 million the second time, 3 million. So he got 6 million points free just for knowing how the skill shot worked. And I didn't figure out to my third ball when I remembered it was, the flashing inserts, and you're trying to time it. So definitely, if you have an idea, if you're playing on location in a local tournament, you kind of will have an idea of what games are there. Figure the rules out. Get some basics down. And I tried to do that. Like, I had the rules to Tron just all ready to go, and then I just sucked at Tron. So that is what it is. Still got to hit the ball where you want to hit it. So, great point, Dylan. I appreciate it. And with that, we come to an end. Episode 29 is in the books, as they say. I appreciate you guys listening. I've been trying to get more shows out, but it's busy around here right now. I'm in sales, and the third quarter just ending, fourth quarter's coming up. This is our busiest season of the year, so that's maybe. I've had a couple of people ask me what happened, why have I slowed down a little bit. In my head, I haven't slowed down. The world sped up, so there will be lots of episodes coming. I'm not going anywhere. I see 50 episodes by the end of the year fairly easy. I will be at episode 50 before we know it. And next episode's 30, right? Episode 30. So thanks for hanging out with me. I appreciate you guys. The comments, the emails. It's all really good stuff. It's so fun. So, the housekeeping. You can email me, coast2coastpinball@gmail.com. It's coast, the number 2, coastpinball@gmail.com. Go to our website, check it out. I try and put up little notes here and there. There's going to be a blog entry on every episode. It's at coast2coastpinball.com. That's coast2coastpinball.com. We're on Facebook, facebook.com/coast2coastpinball. Twitter, @C2CPinball. Listen to the other podcasts. Find them. They're awesome. Check out Pinside. It's a forum that I frequent. I think you're all probably there already. Thanks very much. Talk to you guys next time.